In this video tutorial, I will show you how to knit my morning mist scarf. The scarf is knitted in 2x2 ribbon with decorative stitches both ends of scarf. For my sample, I used soft tweed mix yarn from Drops, which is decay weight yarn, and 4.5mm needles, which is US size 7. The knitting of scarf starts from the lower end, where we slowly increase the quantity of stitches up to the required width. Then we knit a portion of scarf straight in 2x2 ribbon, and then we slowly decrease stitches and knit the second end of scarf. To start knitting scarf, we need to cast on 6 stitches using a long tail cast on. I cast on my stitches without a slip knot. So my first step, I cast on 2 stitches and another 4. Here my 6 stitches. I need to turn knitting for my next row, and then first row is knit 2, purl 2 and knit 2. In the second row, I need to knit all stitches in pattern, so I purl 2, knit 2 and purl last 2 stitches. Now we need to repeat those 2 rows twice. Here are my 6 worked rows. In row 7, I need to start doing increases. So I knit 2 stitches, and now I need to add 1 left leaning knit stitch. So I need to insert my left needle under the strand of yarn between last knitted stitch and next stitch on left needle from front to back. And now I need to knit 1 stitch through the back loop into this strand of yarn. Showing one more time. I insert my left needle from front to back, pick up the yarn and knit it through back loop. Purl 2 stitches, and now I need to add 1 right leaning stitch. For this I need to insert my left needle under the strand of yarn between last worked stitch and next stitch on my left needle from back to front, and knit this stitch normally. Showing one more time. I insert my left needle under the strand of yarn from back to front and knit the stitch. Knit last 2 stitches. In the following row 8, I need to work all stitches in pattern. So I purl 3 stitches, knit 2 and purl 3. In the next row, I need to increase another 2 knit stitches the same way. So I knit 2 stitches and increase 1 stitch. It is our left linen stitch. Purl 2 stitches, knit 1 stitch and increase 1 stitch before last 2 stitches. It's our right linen stitch. I need to work my next row in pattern. It's our row 10. In row 11, I need to increase 1 purl stitch. So I need 2 stitches. And now I need to pick up the strand of yarn between last knitted stitch and next stitch on my left needle from front to back. Now I need to purl this strand through the back loop. Showing it again. I pick up the yarn from front to back and purl it through the back loop. I need to reach this new strand of yarn from the back, behind my working yarn. Now I need to knit 2 stitches, purl 2, knit 2, and now I need to add another purl stitch. It will be our right linen stitch. Now I need to pick up the strand of yarn with my left needle from back to front and purl the stitch. One more time. I pick up the strand of yarn from back to front and purl the stitch through the front loop. Knit 2 stitches. Again, I need to repeat the same steps and work the next row in pattern. So here I increased 2 knit stitches from one side and from another side and increased 2 purl stitches both sides of scarf. So the next step is to work the following round side row, which is row 14, and then knit rows 15 to 20 in 2 by 2 ribbon without any increases. So I've just knitted my rows 15 to 20, and my next step, I need to repeat the same increases for rows 21 to 28. So I will increase another portion of stitches, and I will do this the same way. The same right linen and left linen increases, and I will do them again in the center of scarf, both sides of central purl stitches. So first I will increase 1 knit stitch, purl 2, increase another stitch, and work in ribbon to end of row. And work the following row in pattern. So work your increases for rows 21 to 28, then knit another portion in 2 by 2 ribbon up to row 34, and then we will need to start decreases as well. So I completed my rows from 1 to 34, and in the next row, which is row 35, I will need to start doing decreases and continue increasing stitches to create this fancy stitch. So I need to knit 2 stitches, purl 1, and now I need to decrease 1 stitch by knitting 2 stitches together. I knit 1 stitch and then I need to increase 1 left lining stitch, which is our knit stitch. So I increase the stitch the same way like I did for the previous rows. So I need to knit up to last 6 stitches, increase 1 knit stitch, which is our right lining stitch, and after next knit stitch I need to decrease 1 stitch by doing slip slip knit. So I slip 1 stitch, second stitch, then place them back to the left needle and turning them as well, so I can easily knit both stitches through the back loop and work to end of row. So I work the next row in pattern, so knit stitch over knit stitch and purl stitch over purl stitch, and then in the following row, which is row 37, I will decrease 2 stitches and increase 2 stitches the same way. So I decrease 1 stitch by knitting 2 stitches together and increase 1 knit stitch. Again, work in pattern up to next increase or up to last 6 stitches. So I add 1 knit stitch, knit 1 and decrease 1 stitch by slip slip knit. Work in pattern to end of row. So now you need to continue in pattern up to row 98 for adult scarf, or up to row 78 for the smaller scarf, and then continue knitting in ribbon up to the desired length or length specified in the pattern. So after you completed the straight section of your scarf, you need to start working on decreases for the second end. And basically you need to start working your stitch chart 2 for the scarf, and you need to start working this from row 101, or follow row by row instruction. So in the very first row of decreasing chart, you need to make few extra stitches. So in the first row of decreasing, you need to decrease 2 stitches as well as increase 2 stitches. So what we are doing, we are starting our first row with twisted yarn over at the beginning of row. We are doing yarn over even before we start knitting the first stitch. So what we need to do, we are placing our working yarn over our index finger, and with right hand needle we need to make a twisted yarn over like this. Again, we are placing our working yarn over our index finger the same way as we start knitting the row. Then we placing our right needle on the top of the working yarn and making a twisted yarn over. Then we knit 1 stitch and decrease 1 stitch as SSK. So 1 additional stitch and 1 decrease. Now we need to work in pattern up to last 3 stitches. So we are working in ribbon the same way as we did it before. So here are my last 3 stitches, and I'm decreasing 1 stitch as knit 2 together. I knit 1 stitch. Now I need to make 1 stitch at the end of row. So I can do this with my finger. Just place the working yarn around my index finger, twist it, and move it to the right needle, like this. Or I can do this with right needle. Holding the yarn over my index finger, I place left needle over the yarn and pick it up, twist, and move stitch to the right needle as I would do this for knit stitch, but I don't knit it, just move it to right needle. So here my new stitch. One more time, I'm placing my left needle over the strand of yarn, move it down and twist it. Then slip new stitch knitwise to my right needle. So in the following row, row number 102, you need to work all stitches in pattern. So you are starting with purl stitch. We need to purl our new stitches in the following row, and you purl over purl and knit over knit. So here are my last 3 stitches and I purl them. So now you need to continue working in stitch chart for the second part of scarf or following row by row instructions up to the row 196, and then you need to bind off stitches in pattern, knit over knit and purl over knit over purl. Continue in pattern up to the last row, and then in the next following right side row loosely bind off your stitches knit over knit and purl over purl. Fasten off, wave in yarn ends, and remember to block your scarf to measurement. Blocking completely change the picture and show the beauty of your scarf.